Bill isn't the first Carolina athlete to play both women's lacrosse and women's soccer. She is, however, the first to come into the programs after both won national championships. The men's and women's restrooms at the student union were both out of condoms, so I decided to text the number to see what would happen. UNC men's and women's tennis teams were both in action this weekend. Building on the success of last year's ITA National Championship, the women's team started the season strong. A subcommittee looks at about 14 special student athlete cases a year, and they look at things beyond grades and test scores, like interviews with teachers and a visit to the school. That's an extreme case, but with so many social media platforms, what you say on here could really go viral. There's something that my fantasy football team and our football team have in common, and that is a 1-3 record. It's very upsetting, but I have hope for both teams. Adams joins a long line of Tar Heels who both played and coached women's basketball here at Carmichael Arena. Let's look at the big picture, though. Marcus Page, James Michael McAdoo each had tremendous performances this weekend. Who else impressed you?
It's the week before the UNC walk-ons take the stage, and senior Michelle Franzalia has hours of rehearsals every night. Spending all that time singing is accepted in Franzalia's area of study, music.
I just really like singing, and being able to be surrounded in an atmosphere where that is both appreciated and facilitated, and you get to learn more, just really is awesome.
So what does this music major have in common with the football team? Athletes, drama students, and music students may be considered special talents during the admissions process. Special talents are students selected by his or her department for skills beyond academics, like singing or playing a sport. So how are they admitted? First, the department notifies admissions. Then,
our committee looks at the applicants and makes sure that if they came to Carolina that they would do well here, because that's important. And in most cases, the students would.
Memory says those talents are important to the Carolina community.
Students with special talents contribute to the overall diversity of the climate here at Carolina.
But does talent equal academic success, especially for student athletes?
A subcommittee looks at about 14 special student athlete cases a year, and they look at things beyond grades and test scores, like interviews with teachers and a visit to the school.
But for athletes, actors, and singers, talent is something beyond measure. In Chapel Hill, I'm Madison Way. Senior Maggie Connor is passionate about getting the word out about safe sex, even to the students who don't feel comfortable talking about it.
People are not comfortable with it yet, and they should be. If they're having sex, they need to be comfortable talking about how to be safe about it.
Connor says part of that is making sure students get condoms in a way that's discreet and makes them feel comfortable.
I'm sure some people are too nervous to buy them at the store too, because you don't want to bring up the condoms, and it's kind of embarrassing, I guess, for some people. So we want everyone who needed them to have access to them.
Free condoms!
Some give away condoms in the quad, but Campus Health Services' game plan wrapped around the whole campus. Last April, UNC installed condom dispensers in bathrooms in the Union, SRC, and Rams. The project costs about $1,200 and used funds already allocated to the university's attempt to encourage safe sex. But did students even notice the new bins?
No, I haven't noticed the condom dispensers.
No, I haven't noticed the condom dispensers.
I have not, actually. This is the first time I've heard of that.
And even the ones who noticed also noticed a problem with the program.
I saw them twice. The one time it was full, and then the time after that, there weren't any left.
UNC anticipated that and provides a phone number students can text when they spot an empty bin.
The men's and women's restrooms at the student union were both out of condoms, so I decided to text the number to see what would happen.
24 hours later, the bin still hadn't been refilled. I checked 8 more locations to see if that was the norm. Only one dispenser actually contained condoms. One SRC employee even said he's been working at the gym all semester and he's never seen those dispensers filled. But Maggie Connor says just expanding how the university distributes condoms is a step in the right sexual health direction.
I hope people just get more comfortable with it, and it needs to not be a stigmatized thing, because the stigma is really creating a negative impact on health.
In Chapel Hill, I'm Madison Way. Women's soccer and lacrosse. They're UNC's 2 defending national championship teams, and this freshman is competing for both of them. Her name's Maggie Bill, and according to Inside Lacrosse, she's the #2 women's lacrosse player in the nation. but she wants to be number one. In the NCAA, that is.
And just looking at pictures and videos of both teams winning the championship really kind of gives me the chills. I want to be a part of that.
And it's a video that first got UNC's lacrosse coaches talking about Bill, an injured midfielder out of Long Island. Lacrosse head coach Jenny Levy said Bill was out with a knee injury when she first came across a recruiting video Bill's brother had made. The film made quite the impression.
She was an absolute beast on the field. She closed space, her speed, her agility, her presence. You couldn't miss her. They didn't need to circle her on the video. It was some game footage, and most of the time those game footage are huge snoozers. They're hard to watch, and you're like, oh. But Maggie was amazing. And to this day, it's the most amazing video that I've ever watched.
Bill was considering other schools like lacrosse powerhouse Northwestern, but the chance to play for two storied programs was too tempting.
Bill isn't the first Carolina athlete to play both women's lacrosse and women's soccer. She is, however, the first to come into the programs after both won national championships.
So how busy is this two-sport Tar Heel?
I am busy a lot, but I definitely find time to relax a little bit and just kind of wind down from my crazy schedule.
That crazy schedule includes practice, games on Thursdays and Sundays, and working on stick skills during her days off. It sounds like a lot, but Bill, who played 3 sports in high school, says she's managing.
I've been doing this my whole life. It's definitely different here with the intensity, but just being used to having a crazy schedule in high school, and even before that, I'm just kind of used to it.
One thing she'll have to get used to if she plans to play with these Tar Heels for the next 4 years, competing for national titles. In Chapel Hill, I'm Madison Way.